And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday evening. You are listening to Saving Money Unapologetically with your host, PG. That is me. I hope you're all doing great this evening. And coming to you live tonight, like I said I would. And it's all about Saving Sunday with PG. Folks, we are past the midway point of June of 2024, and we are into hurricane season, tornado season, thunderstorms, flooding, mudslides, extreme heat. You name it, we're in it, knee deep. So let's definitely be prepared. And the way to be prepared on my channel and what I discuss with my content is all about saving you money anywhere that we can so that we have a little bit more to put in our coffers and to last us in our budget each month or bi-weekly or weekly or however you do it. Because each family's dynamics can be different. With that being said, tonight, basically, the topic of discussion is 10 items. Yes, only 10 items that you can start gathering now on your weekly grocery shop, on your daily grocery shop, on your bi-weekly, bi-monthly, monthly, however you do it, every quarter, every 90 days, every whatever, that you can purchase from Family Dollar, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, the 99-cent stores, wherever you are, and there are discount stores that are $1.25 and less, you should be able to purchase a number of these products. Now, I'm not saying spend an absorbent amount of gas trying to go 30 miles across town or in your metropolitan area just to locate this type of store. But a lot of times, the big retailers will have dollar aisles. And you will be surprised as to what you can find on the dollar aisle or the $1.50 or $1.49, $1.25 aisle. Also, make sure that you're looking at your clearance sections in Kroger's, in Publix, in Walmart, in Winn-Dixie stores, in King Soopers, in Aldi's, wherever you shop, Walgreens, Rite Aid, CVS. All of these places, whether they be corporately owned, individually operated and owned, will have from time to time things that you can take advantage of as far as their savings are concerned in a clearance section on clearance. A lot of times they will be tagged a certain way, maybe a orange tag or yellow tag or big red tag or something that will draw your attention to that particular price cut. So without further ado, let's get into it, folks. At Dollar Tree, what I did was I did about 50 or 60 items that I kind of researched. And Dollar Tree seemed to be the most economical for these type items that basically won't destroy your budget. Basically, a lot of times there are products that you will know because it will be a familiar brand, and sometimes not. But be willing to try one of those items every now and again because you never know. It may be beneficial. You may like it because in a worst case scenario, you go out and you buy a bunch of, let's say, potted meat, and you never had potted meat before in your life. Or you never had Vienna sausages or sardines on crackers or what have you. And I'm not talking about just a poor man's meal or poor person's meal. I grew up in the deep, dirty South, and fleeing from hurricanes and treacherous weather from time to time. My parents and grandparents and neighbors and all around, even teachers and what have you, kept a certain amount of those type items on hand at all times, because if the power went out, they kept charcoal, because at that point in time there was no propane grills. Okay, that shit didn't even exist. So let's, anyway, I'm telling my age, but that's okay too, because I'm just glad to be amongst the living and seeing another day with all of my right faculties and all of my original parts, even though I am considered vintage, and most of them still work. So with that being said, just a little food for thought, but continuing on with this conversation, as hopefully you can see the screen, Kreider canned white chicken. And a lot of people, oh, I don't eat canned meat. You'll eat it, goddamn it, if you are starving. Because remember the 3-3-3 rule? 3 days without water. You can go a little bit longer without food, but you need some water. But if in a worst case scenario and the power went out and all you had in your pantry or in your cabinets at your apartments, wherever you live, you had a couple of cans of tuna, a couple of packs of tuna pouches, and a couple of cans of white chicken, you would be happy to open that up and eat it right out of the can, or maybe warm it up in whatever apparatus you could find to do so. So with that being said, a 4.5 ounce can, y'all, is only $1.25 at my local Dollar Tree. Probably the same in your Dollar Trees or your dollar stores or whatever you do or wherever you are. From time to time, you can probably get them for $1.79, maybe $1.49 at maybe Walmart. Perhaps Target might put them on sale. Who knows? Maybe you'll find something at Aldi's. Maybe you'll find a little bit bigger can. Who knows? But you can certainly, at the Dollar Tree, buy a can of chicken for $1.25. That's a savings. So I would purchase 1 or 2 of those and put it in my cabinet. Make sure you're looking at the expirations. The expiration dates are good by, if used, best by such and such a date. Now that's not to say if it says March of 2025, that in June of 2025, as long as that can is not dented and rusting or what have you, that you can't open that can and feel safe about eating it. I would, I'd look at it, maybe sniff it or whatever, smell it, whatever you want to do, and I would commence to eating it. Yes, I would. But with that being said, you can buy basically 10 items that I'm going to talk about this evening for $12.50 plus tax. Now, I don't know what your tax is in your geographical area. It may be 10%, it may be 6%, it may be 7%, it may be 8.5%, 9%. I don't know what your food tax is. But not all of this I'm going to talk about is food items. But these are items that you can store away that will take up a very minimal amount of space in your cabinet. And you need these things to be on hand. If not exact, then similar to your liking or to your family's liking. Because the worst thing would be is in a scenario or storm situation or a shit hit the fan or whatever, or a disaster, and you got a bunch of shit that you can't use, that you know nothing about using, don't know how to use it, don't know how to start a fire, doesn't have a can opener, don't know that you can go outside and there's concrete and you can drag that can back and forth real vigorously across the concrete a number of times and it will open that can lid. But purchase things that you know you and or your family or family members, and even don't forget about the dog or the cat or the rabbit or whomever. Don't forget about those as well, because those are a part of your family. They need to eat and drink water as well. Purchase these items. The next thing I'm going to talk about is we need some kind of nutritional additives to our meal, especially during a stressful situation. We have no power, we're trying to survive, In a worst case scenario, the grid might be down, power outages, what have you. We need to be able to have and store up as much energy as we can and eat enough foods that's going to give us energy in order to be able to perhaps walk to find help, walk to find other foods or things that we can barter with, or things that we may need that we need to trade with someone else down the road, across town, or whatever, in a worst case scenario. Canned fruit is another way of getting some type of fruit source into that diet during that particular time. You can normally pick up maybe mixed fruit, maybe just peaches, maybe pears, maybe pineapples for $1.25. Most stores, grocery stores these days, even Walmart, is right below $2 or slightly above $2. So $1.25 is still a savings any day of the week. I got a little collage here, and it also shows meat pasta sauce. If you don't have meat readily available and it's not available to you, you can heat this up over an open flame if need be, or make a little campfire, or the neighbor next door to you has a little grill that you can pop a pot on and say, hey, I got these charcoals, and if you got something you want to warm up, hey, have at it. Take that, open that up, boil a little pasta. Or if you don't have that and you have some bread that has a meat source inside of it, sop that with the bread. Eat that and some bread. In a hungry situation, you'll eat it and love it. Chili and beans, a source of fiber, a source of meat. The beans are good, the meat source. Always try to have some salt and pepper and some other seasonings that you may like, dry seasonings on hand in your pantry, because normally most people cook, and if you don't cook, you at least got a couple things of seasoning somewhere that you can toss into something to make it taste a little bit better than just pouring it out the can. A couple of cans of soup that you may have. Those types of things have long expiration dates. A couple of years at least, we're talking about, unless you're buying it and it's super duper cheap and you bought it at the canned dent store, or the dented can store, or the surplus store, and it's halfway out of date, or a few weeks or a few months from being out of date. Be mindful, be careful, but you could still 6 months or a year down the line, if that can is not dented or rusty or swelling up or puffed out on all four sides, or the roundness of the can is not round anymore, you can still eat it and feel okay about it. Also, be ready. If you're already ready, then you don't have to rush around trying to get ready. Try to be as prepared as you can. We can't prepare for every case scenario. We can't prepare for every situation, because we are human and we are going to err and falter no matter what. But we can somewhat be prepared and know where we can put our hands on a few things that we put back in that pantry, or a few things we have in a Rubbermaid tote in one of our closets, or behind the sofa, or on the bookshelf, or out in our little storeroom, or whatever, that we can pull from in the event of an emergency. We're seeing this, folks, all over. Things are happening. There's floods. There's record heat waves, triple digits, in places that haven't seen triple digits in a while, or haven't seen triple digits in years. We are breaking records. So be ready. Dry beans. Dry beans, yes, they take a long time, but if you have nothing but time, the grid is down, you have a source to heat up things or to boil water and be able to simmer stuff for a long period of time, dry beans is a good fiber and protein source. It is a meat source. It will take the place of meat. It will give you the necessary nutrients and energy that you will need to help sustain yourself, so that you can survive or be able to survive in a situation that is beyond your control. $1.25, for a pound of beans. That's not bad. If it's just a couple of people, take that bag, use maybe a half of that bag or a quarter of that bag and save it. Save it, because that's multiple meals. Try to bulk it up if you can with a little bread or something. But if you don't and you have beans and maybe a little bit of rice or beans and bread or whatever, it's better than nothing. Be ready. Black beans, whether it be canned or whether it be dry, still another protein source, a source of fiber. Lentils, great source of protein, great source of fiber. Bulky, something that's going to hold you where you won't be hungry so fast. It'll hold you for hours. Do what you have to do. Grab a few of these items while they are readily available and while they are in a good price range. That is how you prepare. You don't start preparing when something happens. That's not the time. The time is now. If there's nothing going on in your geographical area or your region of the country where you reside or where you particularly work at it or that area, grab a few things. I know that, yes, things are high and the prices are going up. Some things have come down in price, but people are still struggling to put food on the table, or they're struggling to get the necessary grocery items that they once did, several years ago. They're struggling. So sometimes you have to go to multiple stores right around in your close vicinity that you reside in order to get the bargains and in order to make your dollars stretch. So why not, if you're down the street at Kroger and you know that a quarter of a mile up the road, or not even a quarter of a mile, is a Dollar Tree or a Dollar General or a Family Dollar, why not go to that store? Take a look around. You'll be happy that you went in there, because you will find a few items that you can pick up on and hold or put into your reserve stock. Or you can add that into your weekly grocery or your bi-weekly groceries at a good, favorable price that you will be able to digest. You may be able to get 2 or 3 cans of something, versus if you were at Walmart, you may not be able to get but 1 or 2 of those cans. Another source that everyone needs is some type of auxiliary light source. If the power goes out and you're in a total electric area or something, it's going to be quite dark. And if, hours are going by and there's no way that the power, for certain that the power is not going to come back on anytime soon or any day soon, and you've got some extra batteries or you have some LED solar powered lights that you can take out of your garden or your garden path or your walkway path and grab some soil right quick, throw it in a box or whatever, and get it charged up during the daytime while the sun is out, or it's daytime, and bring it inside for reading at night or what have you, or just playing cards with family members or playing solitaire by yourself or whatever. That will keep you going. That will keep you going. A flashlight. You at least need to have one in your automobile, and you need to have at least one in your junk drawer in the kitchen or wherever your junk drawer is, or in your closet, or hanging on the wall, on the top of the refrigerator, whatever you do, wherever you store your stuff. Because everybody's house, apartment, condo, townhome, hut, cardboard box, cave, whatever, garage is set up different. You need an auxiliary light source or 2. For $1.25, you can't go wrong. If you had to spend $10 or $15, $20 for a flashlight, that could be a bit of a stretch when you need to buy some food and put $5 or $6 in your gas tank in order to get back and forth to your job for the next 2 days or 3 days until payday. But at least you may be able to spend $1.25 or $2.50 and get 2 sources of auxiliary lighting for you and or your family members, or you and your family. Stock up now, like I said, while the getting is good. Because every time there's a tornado or a hurricane or something devastating as far as a storm, that's not man-made or what have you, there's a run on certain items. And sometimes we are not able to find certain items, but if we already have most of those items, we can sure up by maybe running down to the nearest Dollar Tree and getting 2 packs of cheap batteries. We know that those batteries will last a little while. They may not last forever. They may not last like Eveready or Duracell, but they will last for a while. So why not? Candles. I know that a lot of people don't really deal with candles anymore, like talking about it. But when you don't have anything else and it's in a glass jar, you can certainly put that jar on a brick or something, or maybe a flower pot saucer or something, so that it won't burn your counter down or whatever. Or if the glass accidentally breaks or whatever, it will contain it and what have you. Yes, it's a little bit of an open flame, but if you do your due diligence and not put it around something that is totally flammable, or next to your curtains or your window shade or window treatment that's hanging and swinging and doing whatever, you should be relatively safe. I'm not saying use that candle at night while you're sleeping, but at least until it's nighttime when you're trying to sleep or whatever, blow the candle out, snuff it out, or whatever you do. There's also battery operated candles. Now, if you got to use that for a long period of time, again, you have no way to recharge the batteries or what have you, then you're going to continue to use and go into your battery reserve and be using batteries that you could be saving in case you need them for your flashlights and whatever else. So just be mindful of that. While you're at it, grab yourself some candle lighters, or what we call barbecue grill lighters and what have you. They sell them normally at the Dollar Tree, normally over there at Family Dollar, at Dollar General for under $2, $1.25 at Dollar Tree. Most times you can find them. During the holidays or coming up to like 4th of July, people light fireworks with them. They light their grills with them. So they may have a run on them and you may not be able to readily find them. Come about around the 1st of July, you probably won't find them at your nearest Dollar Tree unless they just got their stock in or something and you happen in and catch them on a good day. But all I'm saying is these are some ideas of things that you can purchase 1 pack of, 1 of, 2 of, buy 10 items, spend $12.50 plus the tax, and you have a few things that you know that will shore up some of the gaps and holes that are in your items that you need in order if something should happen and you lose power or you lose water supply or something goes wrong or you have to get up and get out of wherever you are, and then you get halfway to wherever you're fleeing for safety and you have to camp out in your vehicle or what have you. You pull off to the side of the road or you pull off into, say, a travel center or a rest area. Yeah, it may have bathrooms and plenty parking and there's RVs or whatever, but are people going to share with you? Some will, some won't. And if things are really cranked up and heated up really bad, people are going to be holding on to every little thing that they have. So it's best that you have your own. You can throw a couple of things in the trunk of your car, in the seat if it's just you, on the floorboard or whatever. Grab your little go bag, grab your backpack, grab your suitcase, whatever you need, and get going. But getting from point A to point B and then points beyond, you may have some type of holdup where you can't necessarily travel as fast as you would have liked to. So you may have to spend the night in a foreign town or somewhere that's unfamiliar, or you may have to spend a couple days in an area that is very unfamiliar to you. So it's best to have some things readily available and on hand that you can pull from your own little supply and take with you, or shelter in place. Matches. Everybody needs at least one pack of matches or a pack of cigarette lighters. Everyone doesn't smoke. Everyone doesn't smoke cigars. Everybody doesn't smoke weed. Whatever you do, do you. I don't give a darn, but you need some type of fire source, somewhere how to build a fire if needed. Okay, you can use it for burning rope. The fringes of rope, you can use it to do quite a bit with. If you need to gather a little few sprigs or whatever and try to start a little small fire, or if you need to keep bugs away, you can make some smoke. Granted, that's going to attract, people can see smoke from a distance. But if you got gnats and there's gnats available and it's really moist or whatever, mosquitoes, then you may want to have a little smoldering smoke going, and you're going to need some type of way in order to get that started. And what better way to get it started is if you just had one box of matches, and you know what the hell you're doing, you can get away with it and it will work. So $1.25 will get you a nice big kitchen matches with the long stem on them. Or you can get, I think 8 or 10 boxes sealed up in a packet for $1.25 as well. So you have a good ample supply of something that you can build a fire with. Also, pick up you a jar of petroleum jelly. You can use petroleum jelly and cotton balls to start a fire. It works. Don't come in my comments and asking me to give you all the specific instructions. Google it. Help yourself. Help you to do better. Fuel, an alternative fuel source such as canned heat. We call it canned heat. I forgot there's a particular brand name out there, but we call it that, but it's not. It's actually chafing fuel. We call it canned heat. You light a match to it and it's going to burn. You could use that to fry egg. Now, it's not going to get extremely hot, but if you got a little time, you can boil some water. You can make some coffee. You can do a little something. $1.25. Pick up one or two of those. Put it under your cabinet, somewhere that's away from something else that will, perhaps cause friction or whatever and maybe cause a spark. But it will work in the time that you need it and you have it. The worst case is you need it and you don't have it. You reach for it and you're like, damn, I was going to get it. Well, I was going to, shoulda, woulda, coulda, ain't going to be good enough. Be ready. If you're already ready, then you have no reason to get ready. You're already ready. Rope is something that you need. If you don't have rope or won't buy rope, get some paracord. 40 feet at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. 40 feet is a good amount. You can tie up something if needed. You can make a little small clothesline. You can help tie a tarp between two trees with that if need be to make shelter. You can do a lot with it, if you had to. You can tie up a bundle of clothing if need be. There's a lot you can do with some rope. At least have a small pack on hand. If you never ever use it, okay, fine. But you have it. There's lots and lots of rope. I'm not saying that they have as much as they used to carry, but at least the dollar stores, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, 99-cent stores, Family Dollar, your dollar aisle at the Dollar General, your dollar aisle over there at Kroger, dollar aisle in Walgreens, the dollar aisle in Rite Aid, the dollar aisle if they still have one at the CVS. There's at least a little thing of rope somewhere. Grab you some, put it in your car, put it in your truck, put it in your house. If it's in the house, you already have it inside. If it's in your vehicle, you walk yourself outside and grab it out your vehicle, go in the backyard and do what you got to do, whatever you need to do. Plastic sheathing. We call them drop claws. Plastic sheeting. This one here that I'm showing right now, it says it's a 9 foot by 12 foot. It may be a little short. I don't know if the foreign entity who manufactured it measured correctly, but it should be able to cover a window. It should be able to cover a door if need be. It should be able to cover if you got a broken glass in the vehicle or something. It should be able to help in a worst case scenario and during a time that you need something like that. And you can put your hands on it. Hey, it will be invaluable to you. Trust me, for that $1.25. Zip ties. Zip ties is a brand name, but nylon cable ties, you'll be surprised what you can do with them. You can keep some things together. You can wrap something around something if you had a leak in the pipe if needed, if you need to keep that on there. It's so many things that you can use cable ties or zip ties for. One pack will go quite a long way. $1.25. Harbor Freight is another place, y'all, that you can purchase some of these items from, maybe in a little bit more quantity, for $1 or $2 more, and you may have a bigger quantity. You may share with a neighbor or a family friend. If it's you and they're single and you're single, maybe you can go halves on some of these items that may be, if, you know, Harbor Freight has 100 zip ties or cable ties, and say, I'll never use 100 of them, but 50 is pretty decent. You and your friend may go in there and find some for $3.99, and there's 100. Okay, split them. You got 50, they have 50. Y'all live miles from each other, cross town from each other. So what? Y'all meet up, do lunch one day and say, hey, I'm working on my prep list, or I'm working on my prep supplies and storm supplies or whatever. You got any zip ties? Also, ask around for things that you have an abundance of already. Someone that you know right in your area that you're friends with, or your neighbor or your coworker, may not have an abundance of that, but they have an abundance of something else that you may not have, or you may have very little of that they may be able to trade. The time to do things like that is now, before something happens. Tape. Please, y'all, get some damn duct tape, get some electrical tape, get some packaging tape, get some kind of tape. Any kind is better than no tape at all, but at least a small roll of duct tape. It can be the no-name brand duct tape. Okay? It could be yellow. It could be pink. It could be blue. As long as it sticks, it can go around something and hold, is all you need. Okay? It's basically temporary. But get you a roll or two. Matter of fact, this week, pay week, get you a small roll of duct tape. Next payday, get you a small roll or a roll of packaging tape. The next time, get you a roll or a pack of electrical tape, and you're good to go. Roll some of it off, wrap it around something, throw it in your vehicle, in the glove box, in a little box or a little Ziploc bag or something. Have all three of those types of tapes in your vehicle as well as in the house, so that if you're not home and something happens in between trying to get to work or trying to get from work to your house, or in the middle of the day on your off day and some shit breaks out, you have something at all times in your vehicle. Have a change of socks, have a change of underwear, have a whole change of clothes. Have a long sleeve shirt and a short sleeve shirt. Have a pair of shorts and a pair of jeans. Put that underneath the seat of your vehicle. Put it behind the seat. Put it somewhere. Wrap some of that auxiliary stuff that we're talking about right now. Scissors, some tape, some vitamins, a couple of extra pills if you're on heart medication. Make sure you have some of that shit with you in your vehicle at all times. Because we don't know when something's going to happen. Anything is liable to break out. Anything is liable to happen while you're just at work minding your own business, and all hell breaks loose. And you can't go home. They lock the building down. Heaven forbid there's a shooter or some domestic terrorists roaming through and ravaging through a 15-story building, and you're in that building. Have what you need. Try to have what you need on person, or try to have some of the most important things that you need on person, or at least in your desk drawer, or at least in your vehicle, or in your purse, or in your sling bag, or your man bag, or whatever the hell you carry, or your EDC, everyday carry bag, or everyday carry pouch. Have something. You'll be surprised. Glue. At least get some individual little tubes of glue. They sell them in a little 5-pack or so, or 10-pack at the Dollar Tree. Every now and again, you can find them at Family Dollar and Dollar General. Sometimes at Kroger's. Definitely over there at Harbor Freight, if you have a Harbor Freight near you, or you can get online and order a couple things. Because if you got to glue something right fast, or you want to melt something and get this to stick to this or whatever, you don't have time to try to cap that glue back up and wonder if it's going to be hardened in 2 to 3 days when you need it again. Okay? Use it, throw the rest of the shit away, because you got 4 more tubes or 5 more packs that you haven't even opened yet in your container, that like you bought it. So that's all I'm saying. Stick glue. Glue sticks. I love glue sticks because guess what? If I got a pocket lighter or a barbecue grill lighter or a match and I got the glue stick, I can melt that glue and it's going to drop, and I can roll stuff around in it or whatever, and I can still glue some shit together. I can glue some wood. I can do some stuff. All right? So I'm giving you a little food for thought, but it is what it is. And this is kind of a long video, y'all, but it's very necessary. Next thing, first aid supplies. We all need to have a few things. We need to have some Band-Aids. Try to get you a multi-pack of Band-Aids, y'all. Even a little 99 cents or $2 emergency first aid kit. It's going to have maybe a little pack of gauze, a couple of different sizes of Band-Aids. Maybe it might have a little Neosporin. Maybe some anti-diarrhea, real medication. It may have a few little things in that first aid kit. Or make up your own little first aid kit, because some people have medical issues. Some people may need certain things where they don't necessarily need other things. Lots of times you can barter. Somebody needs a Band-Aid. You might need some gauze. This person needs some, some suture tape or something. I don't know. But you may be able to barter for that item that you need versus what somebody else needs. Get some Band-Aids, y'all. Another thing, isopropyl alcohol. You can start a fire with that as well, and it'll burn clean if you needed to cook with it also. Doesn't hurt to have a thermometer, a digital thermometer. Neosporin, hydrocortisone cream for scratches, wounds, itching, some foot powder. Again, petroleum jelly, hydrogen peroxide for sanitization and what have you. It's showing here athlete's foot antifungal cream. You know, you'd be surprised if you have a few of these things available. I don't care that they expired last year and we're in 2024 and it's the expiration said August of 2023. I don't give a damn. I'm going to use it. I might have to use a little bit more. I might have to use it more than 3 times a day. Like I said, I might have to use it 4 times a day, but it will still get you out of a pinch and out of a jam. Think about what you need and purchase it as you go along. Over-the-counter meds. Get you some pain relief, preferably something that's Tylenol. Okay? Related. Stay away from a lot of your NSAIDs because they can upset your stomach, especially if you're already stressed. If it's a stressful situation, things could occur. It could cause swelling. It could do some stuff. So try to keep the acetaminophen and go with that instead. It's a fever reducer and a pain reliever as well. Always keep you a little tube of Orajel. You bite down on something. Something happens. You get an ulcer in your mouth. You accidentally drank some water that wasn't so good and it gives you a mouth ulcer, or it makes your mouth sore. So you can at least put a little bit of that and numb it and have some type of relief out there in the woods, or while you're walking trying to get to safety, or doing whatever. You got that in your bag, you can use it. Always try to keep some chapstick or some lip balm or something, because if it's hot, heat will chap your lips as well as the cold. And it's we have, some of us have really, really sensitive skin. And when you're out there in the hot, brawling sun and you don't have anything over your head, you don't even have a cap, and you're walking to no avail, you're going to get pretty parched. But if you got a tube, you can use it sparingly. Those are a few things. Over-the-counter meds are things that you can keep in your little bag or in your little kit that you are making up as you go along. Have a cold and flu medicine, if it's capsules, if it's tablets, if it's liquid. Liquid sometimes is a little bit heavier, of course, and it's a little bit harder to pack around and carry. But if you got it at home and you can't get out to a drugstore, you can't get out to Walmart or Kroger, or they're closed for some reason or something, and you have that in your medicine cabinet, or you have it in your pantry somewhere in a cool, dark space, you will be able to use it, and you'll be glad that you have it. Nasal relief, stuffy nose. You got children, keep a little of that on hand. Keep a little of that spray on hand. Ibuprofen, if that's what you do, do you. Advil or Aleve, you do it if that's what you do. But I recommend acetaminophen. It could be no name brand as long as it's acetaminophen. But do you. Muscle rub. If you're walking a long ways and you haven't been walking a long distance before, you're going to tire. You're going to maybe strain those muscles in your calves, or the thigh area. The glutes may start to hurt. It just depends. But a little bit of muscle rub. And if you got a backpack and that backpack is pretty full, and you walking and that heel and toe, and you in the heat or you in the cold, your muscles are going to ache. Trust and believe. When you get wherever you're going, or you get to a point and you got to stop or whatever, and you have some of that in your bag and you apply it, you can get yourself a little bit of relief. Especially you can't get to a hospital or to a first aid center or somewhere, and you got this. It's something that you'll be glad that you have and you can use. Allergy pills or allergy relief, like Benadryl. You out here, you're out and about, and you take something by mistake, or you encounter poison sumac, or poison ivy, poison oak, or you out there and it's a high pollen content and stuff, and your eyes, you're running water and you're sneezing or whatever. You take your Benadryl. If even if you had to take a half a Benadryl tablet or something, it's better than not taking something at all, for some type of relief, so that you can continue on your journey to safety, or continue to try to be as safe as you can be, even if you're sheltering in place. Anti-diarrheal medication. It's a good thing to have some pills. Sometimes we'll have the liquid. Like I said, liquid is a little bit harder to carry, a little bit harder to pack. It's a little bit heavier. If you had a 12 capsule or 12 caplet pack, and you say you want to pack 6 in your vehicle, in your little bag in the vehicle, and you keep 6 in the drawer in the medicine cabinet at home or whatever in the house, and you're away from home and you do have that everyday carry bag with you, at least you have something. Now you may have to take it sparingly, but at least you will get some type of relief, and it should put whatever's going wrong with your stomach. If it's just a little 24-hour bug, it should help to relieve that. Well, y'all, basically that's all I have. Like I said, pick and choose wisely for what your dynamics are in your household and in for your family, or if it's just you. Pick and choose the things that you know that you will use and that you are accustomed to using. And a lot of times you'll find that a comparable brand or a store brand is basically, if you look on the back, a lot of the ingredients or the active ingredients are exactly the same. The inert ingredients may be slightly different, or they may have a slight percentage different, but most of the times side by side comparisons are pretty good, almost one for one. So feel free to purchase things that may not be the particular preferred brand label or brand name, but that does not mean that they're an inferior product all the time. So be mindful, be aware, folks. Let's stock up while we can and stock up on items that we need or we know that we may need in the unforeseeable future, because we're in storm season now. Natural disasters are happening all around our country every day and across the world. So you never know when a disaster strikes, and you need to be prepared or somewhat prepared. Do you, do me, help one another. Y'all stay safe out there. Have a good rest of your Sunday evening. You have been listening to Saving Money Unapologetically with your host, PG. That is me. I hope that you have enjoyed this vlog podcast. I hope that I have given you some food for thought and have actually brought to you some ideas that you can use. If not, please share the video vlog podcast that will be uploaded in the next 5 or 10 minutes after this live with a family member, a friend, a coworker, a neighbor, anyone that you think would benefit from this information. Please don't hesitate to share it. Thank you for tuning in, and y'all have a great rest of your Sunday evening and an awesome week ahead. Bye now.